Okay, so I have everything crushed in here, and I have the soil already all put in here. Now, when I get my leaves ready, then I get ready to put them into bags. This is a small regular, it's just a condiment cup that I've put a hole in so that way the water, because I sometimes will go, well, when I use soil, I have to put a hole in there so that way when I go and I check, and if the soil is dry, when I go to water, it can drain out so that way it doesn't cause the leaf to rot. If there's no hole, obviously the leaf will rot if there's no hole. It just makes sense, obviously. So, restaurant, small size condiment cup. You can buy them anywhere. And then use I use just sandwich bags. Okay, and you can see that you can put about 3 in there. And what I do is, if you look over there, I've got my lights, and then I take the bags and I clip them to my light fixtures, and you can see they're hanging there on the edge. And when I'm done, I'll show you how I hang them just by just regular laundry clips. I don't necessarily use this method anymore, but I'll show you how I do it anyway. And then I'll show you the method that I have switched to, that I prefer. The one that actually is faster and more efficient. Okay, so I have, for instance, I have already, just to speed up the time, I've already got my leaves here, and I've already got my labels, and I know which ones I'm gonna pot up. Now, what I always do is and I'm gonna push this around so that way you can see here. Okay, let's go ahead and put this right here so that way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I do is I take the perlite that is not, that I haven't crushed up. I take that one and I put a little bit of it at the bottom. Okay, I always put it at the bottom first. Then the one that I have as my mixture, I put it up at the top. And so you can see how it's just a light layer. Okay, it almost seems like it's not enough. Okay, and then I'll just do just a little bit more. It seems, you're like, but wait, that's not really enough. It doesn't really need to be enough. And the reason why is because it's going to be sealed up in this bag. And if it's too much while it's sealed up in this bag, it's going to rot. Now imagine if, I'm going to take another one here. Imagine if this whole thing, let me take this leaf out. Imagine if this whole thing here, okay, it has a hole, but imagine if this whole thing was just all soil, okay? And imagine you had your leaf. I don't have a sample leaf. Oh, let's see if I have a sample leaf somewhere. Oh, let's use this leaf. Okay, so imagine this leaf here. This leaf here was just sitting in here like that. Okay, see how this is way too bright. Okay, so imagine this leaf was just sitting in here, and I would have put it in this bag like so. and all this soil were wet, and then I sealed it up. Just think about that for a second. What did you think would happen? It's going to rot. And then I go back and I check, and I'm like, oh shoot, what did I do? Oh no. Oh, gosh darn it. Right? Okay, you know, and then we go we go back to the group, and we're like, what did I do wrong? Like, I just want it to work. And then everybody's like, well, you know, because they don't know. They don't really know, like, what soil you used. Was the bag dirty? Did you poke a hole in the bottom? You know, like, what were all your for instances? Because they don't really know, because, you know, you haven't really showed a picture or whatever. Like, they're trying to guess too. They don't really know. And then also, they can't really guess that there's not really a whole lot here. But you don't really need a whole lot here. I mean, this leaf, even though it has just a little bit of stem, this leaf can grow. But it's not going to grow in this, because this, as you can see, it doesn't have hardly anything in it. I mean, look at it. Yes, it has a hole, okay? And yes, it's got like a little bit of perlite in it, okay? But yeah, you followed what the others say, that we say, I say, put it in a bag, seal it up, right? But like, we didn't give you like a whole lot of real, like, other information. That's why I'm trying to share the video with you, okay? The real information is going to be in this video, okay? And the real information is here for me, okay? Fill it with a lot of perlite, because this is real. This is the real key. Put it in a lot of perlite at the bottom, because this perlite is the key. Because if you go to water it, okay, even if you accidentally overwater it, and you're like, oh shit, or oh shoot, okay, I'm pouring it out of the bag because I overwatered it, okay, that's fine. It's gonna drain out, because there's a lot of perlite in here, and there's only a little bit of soil in here. And this ratio, as you can see, because I showed it to you in here, is a really good mixture. I mean, you saw it before I crushed it up, was kind of chunky, and then I crushed it up, and then I put just a little bit of soil. I put probably like, I did like half and half. Actually probably less than that. I probably put less soil to more perlite. So there's actually more perlite in this than soil in here. Okay. And then again in here, there's even less soil and more perlite in here. And the reason being is because when you go to put this little guy in here, even if this right here has just a little bit of stem and it's resting on here, and as you can see here, and let me lift it up so that way you can see. I'm gonna show it again, and I'm gonna flip. You can see here that stem in here it's just kind of barely sitting in the hole, okay? It's gonna grow, okay? When I go to put that water in there, it's gonna grow, okay? All of these guys over here, all of these guys started like that. And in fact, let's look at this one here. I think this one here, oh no, this is a sphagnum. That one is a sphagnum too. I think I switched almost all of them over to sphagnum. So I don't really have any of that anymore. Okay, so anyway, but they're gonna start like that. Okay, even if you seal it up, they're gonna start like that. But this is not my preferred method anymore, and I'll show you why. Okay, here in a second. This is why. Because they grow actually better for me like this. I actually get more babies this way and faster when I do it like this. And let me pull it up. I'm going to switch the camera up and then I'll turn it around. Okay. So this one here is Imps Freon Fallout. And I'm going to pop them up. So, okay, so this is half and half. So this is before I actually switched to all sphagnum. So, I actually switched all to sphagnum now, but this is before I switched to all sphagnum. So you can do it like this too. So before I switched to all sphagnum, I was actually doing it kind of like this, where I was doing it kind of like this method here, where I was using kind of like this top layer here, how this top layer up here is real heavy with perlite, and then I filled this top part with sphagnum. Okay, and here's the top part. There we go. Now it's kind of focusing. Okay, so let's see. Let's look and see what we have here. So we've got one baby here. See, they just grow better. Got one baby right here. See, and they just look better. And then we've got another baby here. And I just put a whole bunch of leaves in here, and I barely set them in the sphagnum, and they came out looking so much better. And they're easier for me to pull out because they just look better. I like them better. Okay, here's another one right there. Okay, and then here is, oh, this one grew kind of wonky. Okay, and here's another one. I think this one's still kind of growing. I don't know what this one's doing. There we go. Here's another one. But my babies end up looking better when I grow them like this. See? I've got a lot of comments saying, well, your babies look better. I just think that they look better growing in sphagnum. Okay, so I just got healthier looking babies that way. And now for the other part. People ask, okay, well, what kind of sphagnum are you using? So the sphagnum that I use is this kind. It's Goler Orchid sphagnum. So a lot of people use it for orchids. I find that this is higher quality sphagnum. And what you do is before you use it, you just put it in a whole bunch of water, and you see it's just drenched in water. And of course, I wouldn't just use it like this without first squeezing it out, and I'll show you how I do it. So now for the other part. So I showed you how I would put this in this thing. But now I'll show you how I actually do it. I skipped this whole entire process. So this whole entire process, this is for the birds now. I don't even do this. I put them in bags. I just do it in bags. So I've already actually did that in a bag, so I can't really show you that because that's actually already done. So we have these ones right here. So we've got this bag. It already has writing on it. It's the Hunter's Thunderstruck. So I'm just going to use it. And it's actually already the perfect size. So we're going to use this one. And you're like, what? How is a whole entire baby going to grow in there? Easy. It's going to grow in there. Because as soon as they start growing, I'm just going to take them out. And I don't have to cut them or anything really. I mean, ideally you probably would. Actually, these are kind of scabbed over. So I'm going to kind of trim it a little bit actually. Because this is kind of scabbed over a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it kind of at an angle a little bit. Yeah, and that's another thing too. People were like, well, did you cut it at an angle? So these scissors are super sharp and they've already been sterilized. Kind of, sort of. It's probably best to sterilize them each time. I sterilize them actually with a torch. So anyway, let's see if you can see. There you go. Let's see. So see, it's cut at an angle. Okay. And I'll show you this one. Diagonal angle. It doesn't have to be. And actually, I've even had them where the whole entire stem fell off. You can even just drop it in there without a stem. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take this bag. And I already showed you this moss over here. And what I'm going to do is just going to bring it over here so that way you can see what I'm doing. Put it right here. Okay. Put that there so I don't lose track of those babies. Okay. Okay. Let's put this, I don't want to lose this. This is a Wesley plant, so I'm going to put that over here. Okay. Okay, so this should be good enough for the bag. See? Okay. Now this, you can kind of hear it, see? Too much water. It would rot like that. So see all that water that came out? And see how hard I'm squeezing it? That's just the right amount. Just want to squeeze it till there's no more. And then what I always do is I kind of tear it. And then I just throw it in there. I kind of tear it. And then I toss it in there. Tear it. I just kind of like shred it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's a small bag. But it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. And I kind of spread it. I kind of spread it all throughout. So I take these little tweezers to make sure that it's spread all the way to the corners. I mean, that's probably a little bit too much, but I notice that I get more symmetrical looking plants if I make it spread all the way to the corners. That's how I get good symmetrical looking babies, not wonky looking babies. Okay, so now there we go. Then I also take another label, so that way as soon as they're done growing, I already have a label made. And I do this because I have been known to take them out of the bag and then go, oh no, who the heck is this baby? That's been me. I'm sure it's been all of us. Okay, so now all I do, and I don't even, you see how I just dropped it in there? It doesn't need to be placed. We fuss too much about babies. We really do. And leaves and leaf placement. We overthink the process. It's completely sealed. But we overthink the process. And yeah, big deal. Part of the bottom of the leaf is touching the sphagnum. It's not going to matter. And the reason why it's not going to matter is because I completely squeezed out that sphagnum, and it's not dripping with water, it's not over soaked, and it's not going to rot out that leaf. It's okay. Okay, so let me show you something. Let me show you an example. And this is kind of crazy. You're gonna be like, what? I know. So this plant is in sphagnum. And soil. And this is a strep. And she's like got a mind of her own. She's blooming. I don't know what she's doing. Yeah. So yeah, she's blooming. She's being silly is what she's being. Yeah. Let me show you. I'm gonna lift it up. Let's turn it around. There. Yeah, part of it is getting, because it's too wet. She's not supposed to be blooming in there. But she's growing. And you can see she's a little baby here. Yeah, she's got babies. I don't know why she's blooming. But yeah, so this is in sphagnum. And some dirt. See, I did it too. Soil. And perlite. A lot of perlite. And so she's got a lot of perlite. I've got my labels in there and stuff so that way I don't lose. But you can see all of the roots and everything. Another thing I noticed too about these strips. So when they do this in here, so part of the leaves, yeah, they'll like get all kind of like rotty in here. I don't really worry too much about that because when that happens, look, then there's a baby. So there's no big deal. Healthy roots. See? all of this is good. All of these guys, and these are streps. All of these are streps in here. So just put a lot of perlite in the bottom of this one. Perlite, and then soil, and then more sphagnum on top. It really helps speed up that process. This one over here, oh yeah, so here is an example I can show you right now. This is Nest Crinkle Blue, I believe. Oh, no. This is a Max. Yes. Yes, I almost lost it. Yeah, there we go. This, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what that is. Max. It'll come to me later. I'll remember. Anyway, so I almost lost it because I wasn't paying attention to my violets. It was in the back shelf, and I was like, oh shoot, I almost lost it. So anyway, so I took a leaf and I threw it in here real quick, and so I did the same thing. I did a mixture just like this, but I left all chunky perlite in here. So this is mostly perlite with just light soil in here, and it survives. So if I would recommend that if you are going to bag it, that you want to make sure that it's mostly perlite and just light soil. You want to make sure, because you do run the risk of rot, and especially in the winter. Because when I sowed this leaf in here, it was I didn't want to lose it because I couldn't find it online at the time. I think Violet Barn it was all sold out. So there was no chance of me getting it, so I put it in here. So I made sure to keep it real dense with perlite. Yeah. So here we go. That's one. Okay. So there's an example there. Actually, I should probably plant it. I should wick it up. So, okay, I think I have one last example, and then I can probably over here. I have just one last example. Okay. Okay. This is crazy. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is a bunch of streps, and they were oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is mostly perlite, which is light. This is the same mixture as this. And then just to be on the safe side, I just lightly stuffed a bunch of sphagnum all around the edges. And they're working now. All these babies, I think I'm ready to pop up and plant. Yeah, see? So I just kind of threw them in here. But yeah, this right here, this is all babies. I know it looks crazy. It's just because I was like, well, I don't really, I didn't have a lot of space on the shelf. So I just threw a bunch of strep leaves together. So if you want to make leaves work, make sure that you put a lot of heavy perlite with just a little bit of soil. That's how you get them to work. I really hope this helps, because that's really all I have. If I move this out of the way, I think, this begonia out of the way, I think I have a leaf in here. Let's check it. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. This one I just put in here. Oh yeah. I just put this in here like just a few days ago. I don't even know if you can see it. It's real little. It's just a light root coming. I can see it with my naked eye, but I don't think the camera can. Yeah. Well, anyway, sphagnum works. It works, and I think that's probably all I have. Oh yeah, here's another one. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, this is N. Thumbelina. I think this one was not in sphagnum moss. This was just, oh goodness, this one is crazy. I think this was just a couple leaves. These guys are, yeah, these guys are insane. You want to see some crazy, these guys are insane. Hold on a second. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I want to see some crazy babies. Okay, so this is with fine perlite. You see, this is mostly fine perlite. It's all perlite in the bottom, all perlite, sphagnum on top. Look at this. Look at all these babies. Baby, baby, baby. This is nothing but babies everywhere. This is a whole, look at that. Look at all these babies. I have so many. Anybody want N. Thumbelina? Look. All babies. There's so many babies in here. I can't even tell you how many babies are in here. Look. No, it's not a trailer. This is not a trailer. These are all individual plants. Okay, that's it. I hope that helped. I think it does. If you have any questions, just ask me. These are the ways that I do it. So, anyway, have a good night or morning. Bye.